I had a lot of great feedback on the first installment of Addicted to Being Stuck. Today I want to talk to you, it's a part 2 to Addicted to Being Stuck, and it answers the question that I have had a lot, which is, well, what does the betrayed spouse do when the unfaithful is just addicted to being stuck in between the affair partner and the spouse? And here's a few things that you as a betrayed spouse can do. Number one is you're going to have to create boundaries. You're going to have to be able to say, listen, I am not going to go back and forth with you anymore. There may come a point where you have to say within this boundaries exercise where you say, look, I'm not going to meet with you without a qualified expert third party. That's someone like Rick. For some of you, it might be your therapist or your counselor if you really trust them and feel like they have a good understanding of dealing with infidelity. For some of you, it might be your pastor, your priest, someone like that. That may be a boundary. You may say, I don't want you in the home as long as I feel unsafe. So until we can get evaluated and start some kind of recovery protocol, like the EMS weekend or the EMS online or the boot camp or something along those lines, you may say, look, I can't be vulnerable with you. It's been too much. I can't trust you, and I can't trust your ability to have my best interests at heart. I need space. You may ask them to move out. Depending on your state, you may get a separation agreement. You may create your own. But you are going to have to create boundaries to prevent you from constantly being taken advantage of. Number two, you're going to have to refuse to be bullied. What I mean by that is you can't allow the unfaithful spouse who is addicted to being stuck to say, well, either you let me come home or I'm going to go be with my affair partner. Your answer is, then go be with your affair partner, because you don't get to bully me anymore. And if you're going to go be with your affair partner simply because I won't let you back in the home yet, then really you don't want to be with me anyway. You're not choosing me, you're needing me, and I'm sorry, I can't even trust that you're going to stay home. So you don't get to come home yet. And you certainly don't get to tell me how things are going to be because you are no longer in charge of what recovery looks like. You are trying to bully me, and I refuse to be bullied. Now at that point you may say, Samuel, that's kind of harsh. Do you really think they're trying to bully me? Without a shout, yes. They are far more in touch with their ability to manipulate than you might think. They have an awareness. I too had that, unfortunately, dark awareness of my ability to manipulate or create circumstances where Samantha, years and years ago, prior to recovery, felt like she was boxed in and had no choice. I did it where sometimes I was very aware, sometimes I was not aware at all, and looking back, I can see how the disease of manipulation and bullying was going on in my life. And I really want to tell you, you are probably, as a betrayed spouse who is in this situation, going to need to get time away. You're going to have to create time away from your spouse because we've got to get him or her to a point where they are choosing you, not just needing you. So you may give some thought to a separation. You may give some thought to talking to someone like Rick and saying, I want to do a separation. Maybe it's 2 weeks. We did a 2-week separation early on. It hurt like hell, but it woke me up. It may be a month. It may be until you see signs that the affair is over. I don't know, but you are probably going to have to say, you don't get to come back in the home right now. I'm not going to live this way. I'm not going to tolerate the back and forth. The next thing that you're absolutely going to need is expert help. For this type of touchy, difficult situation, you're going to need someone who is a true expert that can help you navigate the waters that you have found yourself in. It's just too overwhelming. Your emotions are too tied in. You are subject to the manipulative tactics of probably an unhealthy individual who's really, really good at sales or manipulative tactics or the ability to bully you. And you are probably not even totally seeing. You're probably not in touch at all with just how incredibly prevalent the manipulative approach they are using is in your situation. You need another set of eyes that is an expert set of eyes that can say, no, don't do that, because if you do that, here's what's going to happen. You see, what's vital is, in this particular situation, you're going to need time, and you're going to need to see consistency with your spouse. As long as there's back and forth, you're really in for a long ride. I mean, the pain is going to continue to almost become insurmountable, and the damage that continues to happen to you and the damage that they inflict upon themselves is really compounding at a rate that it's going to be hard to interrupt that process on your own. And so you're really going to need expert help, but you're going to have to empower yourself. I mean, you're going to have to refuse to be led to the slaughter anymore. I mean, you're going to have to refuse to say, okay, come back home, I just want you to be home. Because see, there's that desire that you just want them to be home, which many times overrides wisdom that says they shouldn't get to come home. And then there's that voice that says, well, if I don't let them come home, they're just going to go be with their affair partner. And I'm sorry, I will tell you this now, and this will hurt like hell, but it's the God's honest truth. They're going to go be with their affair partner anyway. I would tell you personally, 95% of all spouses that say something like, if you don't let me come home, if you don't let me move back in, if you don't let me X, then I'm just going to go be with my affair partner, they're going to go there anyway. And about 95% of the time, I see them go back there anyway. Don't fall for the manipulative sales pitch. Don't fall for the hard sell. Don't fall for the trickery that is part of the unhealthiness that's going on in the unfaithful spouse.